Why is it freaking? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mark Isaac Potter Presents. Today we have the honor of visiting with Libby Lum. She is a crypto guru, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm you guys know me already from all the real estate shows, but I want to tell you something about myself. I have mental illness for 30 years, 40 years. I have 5 pieces of diagnosis. I'm neurodivergent, and yet I keep going and going and going. Libby is going to start to walk us through crypto. I have asked her to be very, very elementary and simple in this beginning, in this number one beginning video. Okay, Libby, tell us something very, very simple about crypto. Very simple.
Crypto is basically digital currency. And who out there doesn't understand currency? You're in America, right? When's the last time you went to get a hamburger, right? Or buy a box of tissues at the store and paid with cash? Well,
Right.
imagine doing that digitally. Now you might say, well, I can already do it digitally. I can swipe a
Now, when you
credit
say
card.
digitally, you mean on the computer and on the cell phone, right? That's what
I
you
mean,
mean when you say digitally.
digitally meaning not paper. So it's not a currency that you touch and
Okay.
feel, but it
All right.
exists, yeah, online
Okay.
and on the blockchain. So what a lot of people I know who have heard, like, I'm kind of interested in it. I hear a lot of buzz on it. Maybe I saw something on CNBC, but I don't understand it. How can you just create something that has value when, 15 years ago, it didn't have value?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's
how do
created
you
out
think
of nothing by some anonymous person.
but how I ask people, well, how do you think the US dollar started?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
think the euro started? Somebody
Yeah.
attributed value. The challenge with traditional currencies, and this is what a lot of people get excited about, and you know this, if a government can print that currency, that means it can be manipulated or
Yeah, and
centralized.
it is like we talked about printing, just going and printing more money for no reason
So
and getting
15
into
years
debt.
ago, absolutely, 15 years ago, this gentleman by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, who nobody really knows who this is, created a system where this currency would be minted, and there's a very finite amount to 21 million, and nobody can control it, meaning nobody can manipulate it and print more because 21 million will all there will ever be.
Okay,
And
now
so
when you say nobody can control it, tell us something really simple about what that means. I know there's a computer code. It's run by computer code, and there's some phrase I'm forgetting that has to do with it. But tell me, like why it's like that.
well, so nobody can print more of it. 21 million can only ever be made. And every time that this currency, this digital currency, is exchanged, there's a record of it on the blockchain. So
Blockchain. That's what I'm
that's
trying to
it.
think of. Okay.
That's it. I think the
Now,
number, like one of the things your viewership would need to know is if you don't know what it is and you have at least a curiosity, go and get more information. I can't tell you from the neighbor next door to teenagers to massive billion-dollar hedge fund managers who literally follow that same pattern. I hear about it. I don't really understand it, but I'd like to know more. Okay. But
okay,
the
now,
people that win will take that next step, which
okay,
which
we
you're
only
doing.
have
Mark.
we only have 3 minutes left, and I have to
Okay.
use some of it for sign off.
Okay.
There's a lot of information about crypto. Someone like myself who's neurodivergent has a difficult time learning it. So we need videos like this that are very simple. And the other question I'm going to ask you, and maybe we'll have to do another show back to back, what the hell is a blockchain? I have no idea. It sounds like a prison cell that nobody wants to be in.
Imagine on a simplest term, a ledger. It's just a ledger, something to keep accounting that has to be validated by tens of thousands of people. So you can't cheat. You can't cook the books. That's another awesome thing about Bitcoin. But that will be a whole nother episode. Again,
Okay.
the takeaway
Okay.
should be watch a video. And if you're neurodivergent, which I think is a blessing, that just means you're more brilliant than people understand, Mark. Go and find a video. In fact, find a video that's less than 10 minutes, any of them, because
Okay.
that video will lead you to the next, and keep an
Okay.
open mind. Okay. Remember when the
Okay.
internet started? We were like, what is this new fandangled thing? Could you
Right.
imagine without the internet today? You couldn't.
Right.
That's going to be crypto
Okay.
5-10 years from now.
All right. Okay. Okay. Now we have 2 minutes left, so you can have 1 minute. Say something to us, and then I'm going to sign off.
So this crypto event that's coming up, this is why it's so important. If you've got the time this week to watch a video, there's something called the halving coming up. I won't go into it because it's not enough time, but if you are what's the word I want to say? If you can get the information early enough, what are you doing this weekend? Watch a few videos. They'll learn, somewhere along the way, somebody's going to teach you how to get some exposure. How do I get some? Maybe not a full one, but maybe you can get, 1% of a Bitcoin or 2%.
Yeah. Okay.
Then it gets the ball rolling. Just like the first time we had to get our first credit card, I got to give all this information and fill this out. But now I can't imagine my life without my credit cards. So get there, Mark. And I thank you in advance for giving me this opportunity to share with your viewers. And let's have a lot more discussions, Mark.
We are. I want to make sure and remind you on camera that my video editor's on vacation. So this video is not going to go out for a couple of weeks because she's on vacation. I don't have any way to do the front end and back end. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been visiting with Libby Lum, who is just a flat out genius about crypto. I can barely spell crypto. It sounds like something that fell in my tomato soup. Anyway, we're going to sign off. I love you guys. We're going to post this in a couple of weeks, and then we're going to walk through step by step in crypto. We're going to do a bunch of these. God bless you all. I'll talk to you soon. Libby, thank you very much. And I need to be in touch with you after the show to get some things for the tags. The tag at the bottom.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm going to call you back. I'm going to call you.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right. We're out of here. Talk to you later, folks. Thank you.